this goes this way with him. And he had a great run with the Heat. You are a net better bringing Jimmy Butler into your franchise. But to advance the conversation, I don't think that Jimmy Butler has another 3 good years, 1 bad year run in him. And I think other teams know that. And the trade request went from these 4 contenders to any team not Miami very quickly. And I'm looking up and down the list of teams. There are teams that could use Jimmy Butler, but is a team going to bring in Jimmy Butler knowing that he could opt into $52 million next year? Is a team going to bring in Jimmy Butler knowing that he won't be happy with an extension? And who wants to extend Jimmy Butler 3-4 years now? Who? What timeline is that? Like outside of the Warriors who could barely trade for him if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think that you're probably trying to get off of salary. Obviously, you're going to have to give up some assets, and it has to be one of these teams whose timeline is we're going to go for it for the next couple of years. That's it.
But who's that work for, though? I mean, like, the Lakers can't do it. The Warriors could technically do it, but it'd be pretty bold, to say the least. They would lose. They would lose a lot. People say the Rockets could use Jimmy Butler, but he doesn't match their timeline as a franchise. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're going to dedicate $52 million to him next year, or a little bit less for 2-3 years. Right. I don't see it.
I think there's a lot of teams right now. I think you can look up and down and you go, and you sit there and you go, can I compete for a Western Conference Finals or a title as I'm currently constructed? And I think a lot of those teams outside of Oklahoma City all sit there and say, I'm not sure. Is that fair?
Mavs don't say that. Grizzlies don't say that.
I mean, the Grizzlies are starting 2 rookies.
That's not, I mean, they're not trying to start 2 rookies. That's because they've got 5 guys out every single game.
I understand. But I mean, they obviously went and tried to go get Dorian Finney-Smith. P.S. I'd take Jimmy Butler.
Of course.
So I take him. I mean, as a fan of a team that's trying to compete, what team? Here's a better one. When you sit back and you say, what team would want him? Like, what team do you not increase their chances of winning their conference if they attain Jimmy Butler?
He makes so much money that to match salaries, you're going to deplete your team. You're going to deplete your depth to bring in Jimmy Butler. And a team like the Rockets can do that. And I don't know how interested the Heat are in a Grizzlies package. I don't even know why we're talking about the Grizzlies. They're not going to trade for Jimmy Butler. But like, how interested are they in like Desmond Bane and a bunch of dudes? You know what I mean? That are like contributors.
Well, that's not happening anyway. But,
yeah, it's not.
But that being said, you can. I'm saying there. One thing we have learned about NBA history is we could sit here and we can say, who would want this? Everybody can get traded. Everybody.
So, the Warriors and the Rockets make some sense to me. Those are two teams that make some sense to me.
There's always that everything is tradable. Everything.
Yes. Well,
Ben Simmons got traded, bro. Ben Simmons got traded. Everything is tradable. Brad Beal got traded. Everything is tradable. You know what I mean? Right when we think, oh, man, that's a poison pill. That's an untradeable deal. Everything is tradable. The question is, who is going to win this epic alpha battle?
Oh,
alpha president, alpha player. How does this play out?
If you want to listen to a podcast where they break down the 15 scenarios, go listen to Bill Simmons. I'm sure he's got the trade machine open and he's doing all the contract, first apron, second apron. But my question for you is different. My question for you is, how does this play out in the immediate future? Because you've mentioned his last 2 games, 3 for 5 from the field, and then 3 for 6 from the field. One game he had 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Another game he had 4 assists, 2 rebounds. But said, I know I'm not shooting a lot, but that doesn't mean I'm not playing hard. I don't know, 0 turnovers, 0 blocks. 0 steals, 0 blocks. 0 steals, 1 block. 4 rebounds. Doesn't seem like you're trying that hard, Jimmy. So is this James Harden in Houston?
Sure not trying.
Well, to be fair, he was sick for like 5 games.
Stop.
But 5 games is a long time to be sick, too. But
stop.
How do you see this playing out in the immediate future? How does this play out?
I think you have to trade him for the health of your franchise.
But what happens next game and the game after that? Like, are they going to sit him? Do they send him home? Like, ooh, I don't know how this works after he says these things. Like, you can't put this toothpaste back in the tube from what he did last night. You cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's out.
Well, look, this morning there is an enormous cursing out that is taking place. And it's Pat Riley saying, listen, you son of a bitch, if you want to get moved somewhere, you dogging it, I will never trade you. Never.
I always say your actions should support your goals. And I'd be like, Mr. Butler, if your goal is to get traded, your actions should be to play as hard as you can and to score 30 and lead a comeback against the Pacers. Not be minus 27 and put up 6 shots against the Pacers.
Right.
Who aren't exactly the Cavs.
It'd be funny if they suspended him or something.
Just something.
You know what I mean?
It would also be funny if he was just like, I know what to do. I'm going to get the last 4 guys on the bench, and I'm going to practice against the stars. He's like, it worked before. I'm going to text Rachel Nichols the next day. Just run it back.
Long sit down that makes you look like a great guy.
Run it back. Run it back again. This is interesting because it's going to be messy and it's going to end. And it's going to end soon. And it's going to be messy in the short term. And I love the drama and I love the petty. I'm here for it. But you are lying to yourself if there wasn't a part of you that said the quote unquote Heat culture will fix this. This type of thing doesn't happen in Miami. The Heat culture is so strong that it's a perfect match for Jimmy Butler, that he's not going to be the old Jimmy Butler. He's older. He's mature. He's a perfect fit in Miami. Heat culture is going to be so strong that his old ways are going to be changed. And now here we are.
Okay, and let's be fair on one level to Jimmy Butler, because as I said at the beginning, Jacoby, many times, the most talented people are the most difficult people. And that is also true of Pat Riley. It is his way or the highway. And by the way, none of those relationships particularly went that great either, right? The Shaq one went the wrong way.
LeBron?
The Wade one went the wrong way. The LeBron one went the wrong way. Like over and over again, right? That like the first time those stars, when it goes bad, it gets messy. It gets messy because he's the guy. In a world where now the players have power, it is one of the few places that the guy who runs the team and the coach run the show. You have to get in line in Miami. There's very few of those that go on throughout the league where the owner will back the management and the coach over the players. And it's truly a throwback, but it also has led over the years, a lot of those situations with stars had ended up with guys walking out of the door saying F Pat Riley.
Yeah. And this is going to be no different. This is going to be no different. Right. And if I could pick a destination for him, it would be the Rockets. Because I think the Rockets could put together 3 young players and like a Van Vliet salary, and that would be interesting. That'd be a mutually beneficial situation for both teams.